Hello and welcome to another House of Wisdom knife review video, and today we got a great knife we're going to be looking at. It is the Factor Iconic Compact in carbon fiber. The Factor Knife Company is based out of Springdale, Arkansas. They sell flashlights and knives and a little bit of clothing. Their knives are made in China. Some of the knives are designed in-house like the bit and the verb. Others are designed by Chinese designers like the Iconic, which is the subject of our video today. There's a bit of controversy over this knife being too similar stylistically to the Giant Mouse GM1. Giant Mouse is a company that is started by Jesper Voxnez and Jens Anzo. And I'm going to put a picture above of the GM1 just so you can see it. And we're going to talk about the stylistic similarities and the controversy at the beginning so that we can get that out of the way. Well, as you can see, both of the knife blades have similar blades. They have a drop point that has a swooping drop point and then an upswept belly. You can tell that they're not identical. In the Giant Mouse, the drop point is more abrupt on the downslope and it has a larger belly on the upslope. They both have oval thumb holes. But they're different shape. This one is a little bit narrower at the takeoff, and the blade is narrow, whereas the GM1 blade is a little wider, and this comes down a little farther on the GM1. The thumb hole is oval, as I've mentioned, but that's not the first company to do that. And then the lanyard hole is a narrow oval slit on both of them. And then it has a large sharpening choil here also. So there are some similarities. I'm going to talk about some of the differences. The clip on the Factor Iconic is an embedded clip held by two screws. On the GM1, it has a round attachment and it is not an embedded clip. Other things are that the pivot has a cross pattern on the Iconic and is round with a anodized colored pivot collar on the GM1. The lock bar on the GM1 is cut internally, and it has 3 cuts externally on the Factor Iconic. So there are similarities and there are differences. I just want to talk about some of the other knife manufacturers. For example, the oval thumb hole is not exclusively used in the Giant Mouse GM1. Here is a Clyde Challenor Talon, and it has an oval type thumb hole also. So other designers use that design. And then with the lanyard hole, it's slip-shaped. Most lanyard holes are rounded. Some designers do use a slit-shaped hole. This is the Custom Knife Factory Piece Duke, so it has a slit hole also. And so where does infringement of intellectual property and design start, and where does it end? That's an interesting question. I'm going to bring a couple knives here. These knives look like twins almost. The top one is the Nick Chuprin's NCC Knives MK1 Micro, and the bottom one is Ziba's S1 Mini. And as you can tell, they are very similar. They both have a modified Tonto blade that has a little upsweep on the edge here. They both have a swell for the finger. The Ziba knife comes down a little further, the Chuprin knife not so much. The handles are very similar. They have a little cutout for your forefinger. The Ziba's is a little larger. Chuprin's a little smaller. They both have lanyard holes. They're both the same size. They're both flipper knives. The pivot's placed in the same way. And these are very similar and almost identical knives. I'm glad that Ziba and Chuprin are not at one another's throats arguing over intellectual property rights, because the reality is there's only so many ways to do a knife, and someone's going to claim there's an intellectual property infringement. So basically, I'm going to end the conversation there and get back to the brigade or to the video, because this is not my monkey and not my circus. So we're going to talk about the specifications of the Iconic Compact Carbon Fiber. The blade is a 3.14-inch blade. The handle is a 4.25-inch handle, giving a total knife length of 7.39 inches. The weight of the knife is 3 ounces. Here are some knives that are similar in size to the Factor Iconic Compact. We have the Berger Atlas, the Kershaw Skyline, and the Strider SJ75 Baby Huey. The blade on the Iconic Compact is a Stonewash S35VN blade in a full flat ground grind. It's a modified drop point configuration, having an oval thumb hole, and the sharpening choil is large enough to fall beyond the plunge grind. However, it doesn't really fit your entire finger well. That would cut the front part of your finger. You can put your fingertip in there, or you can ride it up on the flipper tab, but you can't really comfortably put it in there to use it as a forward finger choil. The construction of the knife has a back spacer with a gear pattern for a little bit of traction. The back spacer extends about half the length of the knife, and otherwise it's a flow-through design. The back spacer is held by 6 body screws, 3 on each side. The handle is made of carbon fiber on the show side, and it has the company's logo, the F with the 2 arrows on each side. Excuse me. Engraved onto the show side of the knife, and then it has titanium on the clip side of the knife. The pivot is a caged ceramic ball bearing pivot and has a decorative cross on the side. The lock on this knife is a frame lock, and it has an over travel stop and a lock bar insert that are integrated into the frame lock. It has 3 cutouts externally on the frame lock on the lock bar. The pocket clip on the knife is an embedded titanium clip held by 2 external screws. It's a bent titanium clip and has good retention. The ergonomics on the knife are very good because it is contoured. You can see it's thicker in the center and then thinner on the edges, which gives you a good feel in the hand. There's a cutout for your forefinger. Your 2 fingers that follow fit here well, and your last finger fits well right there, and it's just big enough to feel great in the hand. The action, it has a reliable flipper action and can flip every time. It can also be deployed by the thumb hole very nicely, and they have to walk a thin line in the detent, and as a result, you can make this detent fail if you really want to, but you can also flip it reliably if you want to. So this is a good bimodal deployment knife. It deploys well with the thumb hole and deploys well with the finger hole. They walk the line there very nicely. The signage on the knife, on the show side, you see the Factor Equipment logo here, and then the steel designation, in this case is S35VN. That's the only signage on the show side. And then on the clip side, the only signage is the Factor's logo on the clip. The value of the knife is very strong. It's going for $99, but if you sign up on their newsletter, you can get a discount code. I believe mine was JM25, and this allows you to buy the knife for only $75, which for a carbon fiber knife, S35VN steel, is an excellent value. So what are my impressions about the Factor Iconic Compact and Carbon Fiber? I think it's great, and I think it's a wonderful value. Are there opportunities for improvement? I would say because the problem with it, obviously, the 800-pound gorilla in the room, is that because it's so similar to the Giant Mouse GM1, it won't be produced anymore. There were 200 produced of the compact in carbon fiber and 200 in pure titanium. And once they clear out this supply, there won't be any more made because of the infringement aspects with Giant Mouse. But what do I like about it? The quality of materials. It uses S35VN steel, has carbon fiber and titanium on the handle. It's a light knife. It weighs only 3 ounces, which for a 3.14-inch blade in a high-quality steel is a great weight. And the value's tremendous. It only costs $75 if you use the discount code. To get this level of a knife with this design perfection and this materials and the flipping action for $75, it's a huge steal of a value. So in summary, if you're looking for a great value, you need to move quickly on this knife. There won't be any more made because of the copyright infringement issues. And I don't blame Factor for that. They were sold by a third party Chinese design or a design that was a little too close to Jinzanzo and Voxness's, so it's not really their fault, and they're doing the right thing. They're ceasing to manufacture it. So, the Factor Iconic Compact in carbon fiber is a great knife at a great price. You need to get one before all 200 are gone. We'll see you on the next House of Wisdom knife review video.